Hello everyone, this is Andy with Intelligent Video Solutions, and today I'm going to be doing a demonstration of our VALT software. But before I jump into VALT, I want to talk about this book that I read about a summer ago, and it was called The MVP Machine, which is it's a story of how a handful of coaches took baseball, a sport that's nearly 200 years old, and kind of flipped it on its head by strategically using high-tech equipment to analyze their play. We have the best cameras the world's ever seen, and they were able to slow down a pitcher's release to see every little degree of rotation, and a hitter's swing to see the exact launch angle required for something like a home run. And the moral of the whole story was that the sport evolved really quickly, and younger players are now major league ready by 19, 20, 21, and I think about this book a lot when I speak to departments like yours, because if we use technology correctly and appropriately, we can improve our rate of learning and have students or staff be work ready much sooner. So I plan on showing you today how a user-friendly yet robust software will allow you to do this. And I'll do this by showing you 4 different items. Observing video footage, recording sessions to use at a later time, reviewing those recordings and all the things you can do with that recording, and then analyzing all the work that you've done within those recordings. We'll start with the observe part of VALT. So in a moment, we'll jump into the software and I'll show you how the user interface works as well as how we observe different rooms. But first, the software is browser-based, so just about any computer that can stream HD video and can access your network will be fine. Every user will have their own username and password, and many organizations will choose to use LDAP and single sign-on for user management and logins. Then when a user logs in, depending on their role within the organization, they may have access to different features and different permissions within those features. So students, professors, advisors, admin, or whomever can all access the same application, just use it differently. The home screen is going to show you some of our more recently viewed items. If there's anything we need to jump back into, we can do it easily from here. Otherwise, we're going to go on over to the Observe tab as if we're monitoring one or more students or employees or whomever working, but not necessarily recording them, just watching the live feed of the cameras. You'll find all the rooms that our amazing installation team has set up for you already. You can click into them and see the live stream. Depending on the camera type, you may be able to pan left and right, tilt up and down, and zoom in on anything in the room. You may also have areas of the room that you need to look at regularly, so you can set up some presets that'll let the camera know exactly where to go. This is one of those little things that actually makes a big difference in simplifying observations, setting it up ahead of time. So that's how you observe a single room and its various streams, but as a supervisor, you may have multiple stations working at once that you need to keep tabs on. And with this in mind, we can click over to views and create more of a custom view of our different cameras. So maybe you have rooms working simultaneously that you want to see on one screen. So we can pick up to 9 streams to view at once, regardless of where they actually are. You'll see here I'm dragging cameras from different rooms, and the stream continues. And if this is a view I may need to use at a later date, I can simply click the Save View, and then instead of having to open all these rooms again, I'll be able to see this under my Views tab. So that's how we observe. We use an easy-to-use interface with drag and drop capabilities for observing various rooms. Now I'll show you the main reason you're probably actually looking at a software like VALT, which is producing high quality recordings of your simulations. If launching a recording through the software, we can either select one of the rooms we've created or one of the views that I just showed you. And before doing this, I should mention other ways to start recordings based off your needs. We can install a simple start-stop button near the room for a person to push before the session starts. One step further would be a keypad where they type in their own code, or RFID card reader to scan so you know who the author is every time. Or you can even schedule these to start and stop at certain times. So think about a situation where a therapy session is scheduled to go from, say, like 11 to 12. You could have the recording start 5 minutes before it and 5 minutes after to make sure you capture the entire session. But we'll launch this one from the software, which is pretty common. Before the recording starts, and depending on your setup, you may fill in a little information about the session at hand in our information template. Anything you may need in order to classify the session later can be created in one of these forms, which will make it easier later to do two things. One, search for the appropriate recording, and then two, run any stats you may need to produce, like who's doing sessions, what type of sessions, how long do they go, etc. Once the recording is going, I can continue viewing it in real time if I like, but you see that the recording shows in red whether I'm viewing the room or not. Also, camera features exist during the recording as well, so if I need to move the camera, zoom in, focus on a preset location, I'm free to do so, just like we were doing within Observe. And once the recording is finished, we'll see it immediately in the review section. So now we've looked at our recording, and the value added here is the stop start on your cue, the pan tilt zoom capabilities. It's all there to fit your needs. Whatever you need to be able to see is right there within the recording. Next, we'll take a look at actually reviewing these. So once the recording has been done, now what can we do with it? So immediately following a recording, you'll find it in its entirety in the review section along the left. I can use any of the metadata or anything from the information template that I filled in to search for the needed recording if I'm not looking for the most recent one. So it's really easy to find any recordings that you've done in the past or anything you've uploaded into Vault in the past. Once in a recording, I can do a few things to push the learning and evaluation forward. So first, I can go through the recording and give effective feedback along the way. I can provide input that's useful to the receiver and can help people improve their performance by offering insights that contribute to desired outcomes. We can do this either through free text comments, you can see right here, or through quick markers, making this feature both robust and easy to use. You can type as you go. You can also add audio notes. So if you're listening to this, the audio note will play and then the video will continue on. You can click quick markers and even at people for comments that only they can see if you want to talk to just a specific person who has access to this video. So aside from comments, you may actually be looking to truly evaluate the person in the recording. And if this is the case, like the information template at the beginning of the recording, evaluation templates are available to quickly and easily score the simulation. These questions can even add markers to the video. So if you use the eval templates, it'll cover the comments during review as well. Again, keep in mind, whatever your end goal may be, are you just trying to record and review, or does your department need to show statistics on how your processes have actually improved student learning? Next, if only a portion of the recording is needed, the clip tool makes it easy to cut out anything extraneous. So you may be cutting out some blank recording times at the beginning or end, especially if you scheduled the recording, or you may be looking to share a certain portion as a good example. And if sharing of a recording is needed, the recording can be shared internally through this button right here, notifying the recipients, or through the chain links icon in the upper right, creating a sharing link. So now we've reviewed our recordings, which allowed us to provide effective feedback for better learning and share or reuse recordings for learning at a later date. So now we've done the work, right? Our installation team set up your equipment, you organized it into rooms and views, your students did their trainings or simulations or whatever it is that you need to record. You left them effective feedback, you filled out their evaluations. Now we need to know, how did we do? Are people using the software the way we taught them? Are students able to self-assess? Are instructors understanding how to give good feedback? Can we provide to our administration that we're moving in the right direction? So for all of this, we'll move into the report section. You'll find all our reports in the first tab and then split them out by various areas of the software that we've viewed thus far. Creating reports is as easy as filling out the information template before the recording. So I'll just go into a few we already have made. In the observation tab, we can see who spent time observing over whatever time frame. Buttons at the top allow us to toggle between users and groups and different units of measure. Going back, let's look at a report off the evaluation template. So here's one of student performance in a certain assessment. Here's how we can toggle between users, groups, and scores in the assessments as a whole. So now we have the data to make decisions moving forward or to defend our time and money that was spent. Let's go back to the MVP machine that we started this demonstration out with. So cameras already existed, but this group of players and coaches used their available technology to advance their practice. They weren't geniuses or technology gurus. They just saw a way to use simple but robust tools to get better results. One review that I read about this said that there's a seismic shift happening in the foundation of most organizations, and this is a great read on how to better understand it. I'm confident that by observing, recording, reviewing, and analyzing your trainings or simulations through VALT, you'll be able to make these seismic shifts for your students and their learning experience as well.